What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades. Guys, we've got a blade here. We've got a disassembled blade. What is this, Baz? I'm going to tell you what, guys. This is a very interesting knife. This is a Sanrenmu Land 9104 frame lock folder. And for those of you that are familiar, Sanrenmu is a budget brand out of China. The Land 9104, 9103, and 910 models are basically their copy of a Sabenza 21. This is the 9104. It is in a black wash finish. It is a stainless handled frame lock. The blade steel is 12C27 Sandvik. It is on bearing pivots. And this knife cost about $18. And I want you to look very quickly here. This is the inside of the handle scales, and you can see this is the lock side. All right, we'll go over here to the face side here. Look at how extensively and cleanly these handles are milled out. And when I say cleanly, take a look at this. Not only are they milled out, but if you look around the edge of each one of those pockets, it is completely chamfered around the edge. Now, this is the inside of the knife handle, guys. That you can't see this. Well, I mean, you can see it if you look down in it, but you can't see detail. That is a lot of detail work for a knife that cost $18. All right. Now, you may ask, Baz, why do you have this knife taken apart? Partially to do this video, to show this off the way that it's made, and partially to clean the copious amounts of heavy grease off of the bearings. For a bearing pivot knife, it was smooth, but you could feel obviously that there was something that was holding the action back a little bit. And I would assume that it is all this grease that is in there. And that's a heavy grease, guys. We're not talking about a nano oil here. We're talking about grease. So I took this apart to clean it, and I wanted to shoot a real quick video to show you guys the quality of this knife. And like I say, it's in a black wash finish. The finish is done very well, guys. There's no issues there. In fact, I'm going to say right now, I have not really seen any quality issues on this knife. For those of you that are into budget knives, and maybe are familiar with Ganzo knives, I'm going to tell you right now my initial impressions of this Sanrenmu 9104 is that it is higher quality than any Ganzo folder that I have gotten in my hands. Now, granted, all of the Ganzo folders that I have personally handled are axis lock type folders with steel liners and G10 handle scales. Now that we do have the newer model that's got the bearing pivot, but for a frame lock comparison to obviously different Ganzos with the axis lock and liners, this just feels much higher quality overall. Very simple, guys. This is an extremely simple knife. Blade, 2 sets of bearings, your pivot hardware. You've got 3 contact points in the handle holding the handle together. Up here on this end, you've got a threaded stop pin that's going to have a screw going in. Down on the butt end, you've got 2 standoffs that are threaded, and then you've got this tubed lanyard hole right here that is not threaded. It's just captured between the scales, and it has just a very hair worth of play in it. I may actually peen that just a little bit and give it more of a true friction fit, but I'm not sure yet because it doesn't really make any noise or anything when it's assembled. But an interesting thing, the pivot screw for this side right here has got a little gasket underneath it. It's a sort of a clear silicone consistency gasket, and I'm not sure about this other side whether it does or not. And apparently, well, let's see here. I do not see anything, and that had almost a pressed fit. Yeah, a pressed fit sort of fit into it, guys, because it popped loose out of there. So, yeah, overall, I'm pretty doggone impressed with this. Everything about it so far, guys. The blade grinds, the finish on it, the machining, the fact that it's got a bearing pivot. The lockup was absolutely solid, no play in any direction. The hardware was fairly quality hardware. There was no Loctite on anything. All the screws were totally clean. No issue disassembling it. I'm probably going to put blue Loctite on that hardware. Yeah, so there you go, guys. A quick look at the inside of the Sanrenmu Land 9104 folder. Obviously, a copy of the Sabenza 21, but this is something you'll get into for less than $20, guys. So, as always, thanks for taking the time to watch one of my videos. God bless all of you. We will talk to you later, and be looking for a review of this knife coming up soon.